Virtuoso Compression video. This video covers the process for compressing an Ascension Virtuoso wheelchair lift down to a width of 33 inches to fit through doorways or other narrow spaces. While this video demonstrates using a portable 5460p series Virtuoso lift, the overall process is also applicable for a fixed 5460f series Virtuoso lift. The complete process is described in detail in the manuals included with the lift. The purpose of this video is to provide additional guidance and should not be considered a substitute for the instructions found in the manuals. The manual contains important safety precautions that must be followed at all times. As part of this process, the underside of the platform and all the internal components will be exposed. As such, take care to avoid any potential pinching and/or crushing hazards. Never place your head or torso under any part of the lift at any time. Make any necessary preparations before beginning to compress the lift. Here are the recommended tools for completing the compression process. See the manual for the complete list. In total, it is recommended that 3 to 4 hours be set aside for 2 people to complete the entire compression and expansion process. Begin with the lift fully retracted, either on its casters or at floor level, with the front gate unlocked. Next, electrically isolate the lift by disconnecting it from all power. Lock out the plug per OSHA standards. Now open the front gate and prop it open using the hold open washer on the door closer. Next, use the hand pump to extend the lift until the platform is roughly 15 inches off the ground. See the inside of the access panel for instructions on operating the hand pump. Now it is time to remove the lift car safety skirt. To remove the lift car safety skirt, first remove all screws fastening it at the top and bottom. This includes the hex head screws fastening a small bracket at each top corner of the skirt. Remove these screws using a 5/16 inch combo wrench. Next, remove the skirt guard at the back of the lift. To do this, first slide the skirt down below the restraining tab on the back of each slider by holding the skirt panels horizontally and carefully moving them past. Next, remove the 2 skirt guard retaining screws. For fixed lifts with the bridge plate installed, remove that now as well. Now push the ball bearing slide releases towards the right side of the lift and then pull downward on the skirt guard to separate it from the lift car. It is fine to leave the skirt guard attached to the skirt, just take extra care when moving the skirt. Next, detach the skirt from the skirt guide tubes at the front of the lift. To do this, lift the corner of the skirt and use pliers or a similar tool to turn the tubes counterclockwise until they release from the studs mounted in the base. Once freed, raise the tube and pull the skirt out. The skirt should now be free of the lift. Carefully remove the skirt using a minimum of 2 people. Use extreme care to support the lift in its natural position as much as possible while moving it to prevent damage and aid with reinstallation. Note that, now the skirt is removed, the underside of the platform and all the internal components are exposed. As such, take care to avoid any potential pinching and/or crushing hazards throughout the rest of this process. Never place your head or torso under any part of the lift car at any time. Now it is time to remove the dock plate at the back of the lift. While the dock plate is only present on the portable version of the lift, there is a stiffener in its place on fixed lifts that will need to be removed and uses many of the same attachment points. Next, detach the dock plate tether from the underside of the gate. Now remove the 2 screws at each end and the 2 screws in the center fastening the dock plate to the lift. Once the dock plate is free, remove it. Next, fold up each side of the floor and use 6 to 8 inch strips of duct tape or similar along the length of the platform floor to hold the floor panels in the up position. It is best to fold it such that it rests further away from the front door closer, as this will prevent interference during compression. Next, use the hand pump to raise the lift platform until it is approximately 36 inches off the ground, and remove the 6 spring pins from the structural members at the back of the lift, using a 3/16 or 1/4 inch punch. Once removed, use the hand pump to lower the platform back to 15 inches above the ground. Next, remove the 4 bolts and associated hardware from the front 2 base cross members. Now it will be necessary to use a welding clamp or a C-clamp on each side of the lift to secure each inside vertical rail to the outside one. These clamps should hold the vertical rails together securely. Next, remove the 8 screws from the 2 back base cross members that link each pair of vertical rails. 3 screws join the outside members and 5 screws join the inside members. This will allow the base to be compressed later. Next, if the casters are not already installed, do so now by following the instructions in the manual. Next, loosen or remove the 10 bolts securing the platform floor cross members together. There are 5 floor members with 2 screws each. This will now allow the platform to be compressed. Note the score marks that will allow the platform to be returned to the same width as shipped from the factory during the expansion process. The lift is now ready to be compressed. To do so, it is easiest to use the 2 ratchet straps provided in the Ascension toolkit, one at the front and one at the back. To use each strap, hook it into a hole on each side of the platform and ratchet the strap to bring the sides together. It is also possible to manually compress the lift by using a person on each side of the lift to grip at the locations indicated in the manual and push each side of the lift together. It is easiest to first push the front corners together, then the rear corners, and to repeat this process until the lift is fully compressed. About midway through compressing the lift, be sure that the flexible hydraulic hoses at the back of the lift are pulled up and out of the way so that they will not be damaged during the remaining compression. Also ensure that the caster pins will not interfere with the floor for the last few inches of compression. Compress the lift until one of the removed button head screws can be reinstalled on the back base cross members as shown. Also reinstall one of the removed hex cap screws into the front base cross members to keep the lift compressed. Note that the base may be shifted in or out to align the holes. The 2 clamps should now be removed from the vertical rails. Use the hand pump to lower the lift onto its casters. The compression process has now been completed and the lift is ready to be transported through a doorway or other narrow space to its new location. Note that the gates may be closed or opened to help navigate corners or other tight spaces. If necessary, it is possible for the rear gate to be removed. However, the front gate is non-removable. If necessary, contact Ascension for further assistance. Expansion. Once the lift has been moved past the given narrow space, it will need to be expanded before it is ready for normal use. To do so, the steps for compressing the lift will be followed in roughly reverse order. To begin, ensure that the lift is still electrically isolated. Next, use the hand pump to raise the platform to approximately 15 inches off the ground. Now reinstall the welding clamps to secure the vertical rails. Remove the button head screw installed in the back cross members and the hex cap screw installed in the front cross members. The lift is now ready to be expanded again. To get it started, it is easiest to use the ratchet strap and the spreader tube from the Ascension toolkit. To do so, loop the strap around one of the center cross members and hook it to itself. Next, brace the spreader tube against the lift base at the opposite end. Hook the free end of the ratchet strap onto the bar and ratchet to start spreading the lift. After getting it started, the lift halves may be manually pulled apart. About midway through expanding the lift, push the flexible hydraulic hoses at the back of the lift back down and into place to prevent damage. Spread the lift until the edges of the larger outer cross members are aligned with the score marks on the smaller inner cross members underneath the platform floor. The inside of the lift is nominally 36 inches wide, but will vary slightly from lift to lift. Now reinstall the 10 bolts to secure each of the 5 platform floor cross members. Ensure the edges of the floor cross members remain aligned with the score marks as the screws are tightened. Next, reinstall the 4 bolts and associated hardware that secure the 2 front base cross members. Leave the bolts loose to allow for adjustment in a later step. Now reinstall the 8 screws into the 2 back base cross members that link each pair of vertical rails. 3 screws join the outside members. Use the shorter screws for the 2 holes on the left. 5 screws join the inside members. Use the shorter screws in the holes at ground level. Use a dead blow hammer and or crowbar to aid in alignment of the cross members. Use the hammer to adjust the rails in or out. If necessary, use a crowbar to assist with alignment of the holes for the inner members. Loosen each screw 1 full turn to allow for further adjustment in the next step. If having difficulty reinstalling the 8 screws into the back base cross members, try loosening each of the 4 adjustment screws at the back of the lift 3 full turns counterclockwise. Now remove the clamps from each side. Next, reinstall the spring pins into the back base cross members. If necessary, use the dead blow hammer and/or crowbar to align the holes. First, install the 2 spring pins in the outside members. After they are installed, tighten the outside 3 screws. Next, for the inside members, install the pins at the ground level first. After that, if the 4 adjustment screws in the lift cab were loosened, return them to their original position by turning each 3 full rotations clockwise. Now reinstall the remaining 2 spring pins. Once the inside 4 spring pins are installed, tighten the inside 5 screws. Next, fully tighten the 4 bolts that secure the 2 front base cross members. Next, return the floor to its normal position and reattach the dock plate and dock plate tether. Close the back gate. Next, reinstall the safety skirt. As before, use a minimum of 2 people to transport the skirt and use extreme care to support the skirt in its natural position as much as possible while moving it to prevent damage and aid with reinstallation. Begin with the safety skirt positioned around the lift. Next, reinstall the skirt guard at the back of the lift. Ensuring that the retaining tabs at the bottom corners of the skirt guard engage with the lift car frame, reconnect the ball bearing sliders by sliding the skirt guard back into them. There should be an audible click when they re-engage. If installed correctly, the skirt guard will not be able to be pulled away from the lift car. Now reinstall the 2 skirt guard retaining screws. Next, to hold the skirt guard up, reinstall 1 or 2 screws on each side of the lift. Slide the skirt up and around each slider so that the restraining tab at the back of each slider catches on the 5th skirt panel from the top. Next, reinstall the skirt around the front skirt guide tubes. Use pliers to tighten each tube onto the stud mounted in the base. Now, reinstall all screws that fasten the skirt guard at the top and bottom. Reinstall the 4 corner screws with the support brackets between the skirt and the lift car frame. Reinstall the remaining skirt screws. Ensure the electrical cord exits the lift as shown. Finally, use the hand pump to lower the lift onto its casters and close the front gate. The expansion process is now complete and the lift may be moved to the desired location. Be sure to perform this normal setup procedure and verify correct operation as described in the manual to help ensure that the compression expansion process was properly performed. This completes the video.